Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cash and Quill.
Today's topic is about
Playing with new players is a veteran in D&D. Let's begin, shall we?
No, I had an Eric Okra in my campaign. Best player I've ever had. No offense, but some offense, please. Just guy played it really well. He was an experienced D&D player. Loved him to death. Would love to play with him again. But he knew his role as a seasoned D&D player at a table with a bunch of new people, where I did not have to police him. Whereas every character I've had to play with you has to be policed because of the way that you play.
Explain the difference in us, then.
Okay.
Give me an example.
Okay, the gentleman who played the Eric Okra. He's just having a fun time. Being in the background, saying weird things to people when it pops up. You know, participating when necessary. Letting everyone else be the star of the show. You, on the other hand, oh, bad guys? Done. They're gone. We'll just move on. Hey, a decision needs to be made. Well, I think we should do this because of the rules and all these mechanics. Not sitting back, shutting the hell up, and letting other people figure out what they want to do. If you don't say anything, somebody else will eventually have an idea.
Well, as one of the players in the game, I simply gave ideas, objectives, and direction that were possible, but not definite.
Which is taken as this is what we need to do because I have all the experience at this table. Therefore, we are going to do this.
You can have a veteran character that then helps the new players?
There's a difference between helping and basically telling people what to do. Do you think the other player that I had told anybody what to do ever?
I didn't tell them. I gave
strong
options.
suggestions. This is what we need to do, right? Okay, we got to do this, guys. And
Can't we
get,
just lead?
I get that you don't realize that you're doing it. That's why I want to bring it to your attention so that when you go through games, you can see that.
I will in the future. Hey, this will be a nice test. All this stuff of you saying, oh, well, you need to focus on this, and I've heard and I've listened and I'm thinking and I continually want to practice the said learned ideas, but you're always like, no, you're not going to be in my game. No. And I'm just like,
well, and the one time I'm willing to actually put you back in, you're like, oh yeah, we're just going to violate the basic laws of character creation that we both literally had an in-depth conversation on. So how can I trust you then to say you're not going to violate all the other basic things that we have talked about over and over again?
Because I'm going to be better.
I'm waiting to see that, though. I'm still willing to DM for this game, but I'm not hopeful that it's going to be any different than the previous experiences.
So an example. I will simply say simple things. Whatever character comes across that they develop, I'll make something to help fill the gap, like normal. Then that character will say, well, it's kind of crazy over that way, or that's over there.
Nope, that's not what you do.
I can't say.
You say, I don't know, what do you guys think? How is that, how much different is that than saying, wow, that's crazy?
You can't even just say, hey, I noticed this thing over there, and talk it out with them. Say, well, there's a lot of bad guys in that house over there.
How do you know that?
No, I'm saying like if we learn something or something like that, say, okay, take Curse of Strahd, for example, and helping them understand the situation in a different, maybe more player to player or character to character would be better. So if I said, as my character in Curse of Strahd, we just were in Barovia, the small town. Seemed real grim and weird here. Just like
third-party perspective narration.
No. What I'm saying,
Merrick Dubin has feelings about this.
What I'm saying is, we take those and we go and say, all right, we're all characters. We're traveling as a party. We should communicate as a party. Mm-hmm. So I will say, well, we just are in this land. It's weird, but that's not anything different. We're adventurers. We go to weird places. and I'm going to role play the understanding of my character. But if I had some external information about what's happening currently in the area, if I'm a paladin and like, wow, this place is really evil, like super evil. I wonder where this is coming from. Gets their mind going in the, yeah, where is this coming from? Is it somewhere else in the town? Is it one person? Then we slowly unravel the story. I've already thought, and I'm not going to say, well, there's probably a big bad evil guy in a castle somewhere nearby. Look over there! Look at that castle in the distance. The shadow of it can be seen right here in Barovia, which is also the land.
Yeah.
But I can go along, and I can just
I don't know if you
role
can.
play the guy. I will. No, I've been thinking about this constantly ever since. I take input, and I help solidify that into a better tomorrow, a better today. So,
I'm glad you clarified that, because I was going to say.
But not today. I'm going to be a real asshole today.
Your goal shouldn't necessarily be to push people into other things. Just like, hey, I know down this hallway there's a trap on the floor because I've played this campaign before. I just know these things. Hey, where do we go next, guys? Well, we shouldn't go down that hallway because we should go down this hallway.
That's metagaming. That's different. We have a talk about that soon.
I know, but I'm just saying that's the equivalent of what you're doing a lot of times in the games themselves. You're not allowing the players to experience the flaws, the falters, the downs, the oopsie poopsies. I did a whole huge mistake with my character, and I'm going to learn from that.
Yes. But I don't use metagaming. All it was instruction of what we could do. People went with my most logical option. That's what happened.
Your most logical option.
That's why I said my.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they went with my most logical option. After I explained, well, there's a bigger city, there's this. Like, I explained it as if I was the character. I don't know if, I feel like sometimes I'm getting the raw side of the deal here, and I actually might have a little bit more leg to stand on. What I'm saying is, when I talk to the party, I'm giving them logical assumptions and information that was given to everyone, saying, hey, I'm processing the situation as of my character. These things happened. That guy sounds real shady. And this is all happening around us. Personally, I don't like that guy. We should go question him. That's my input. And everyone's like, well, that sounds good. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
But nobody asked for your input.
I'm a party member. You're just angry because I'm figuring crap out fast.
No, I'm angry because you're not allowing other people to have the opportunity to figure it out, because that's half the fun of the game.
So you're saying I'm over talking, not commanding.
Yeah. By saying,
that's
wow,
better.
These are all my observations. This is everything we've gone through. This is everything I know. And this is what we probably should do next. What do you guys think? Wow, if I could have had 10 more minutes to actually process what was going on, maybe I would have come to the same conclusion about everything. It's the same thing as you're like, hey, no, you got to do this with your character during combat. No, you got to do this with your character during combat. Well, let me fucking fail so I can figure that out. Like, oh man, I could have done that there. Wow, I'll probably try to remember that next time.
And how does that feel when you say, dang, that sucked? And it's like, yeah. And
that's rough, buddy.
You could have done like 20 of these things, but you didn't because you aren't committed enough to what we're doing.
Not everybody is going to spend every waking moment researching everything about D&D and their character in the campaign. Not everybody's taking ample notes of every word or vowel that is said during the session. Not everybody is that deep into it. The majority of people are not. Give them a moment to figure things out on their own, to fail. You didn't get to where you are in 5 minutes. How should everybody else get to there?
I'm not saying they do, but I'm saying there's a difference. There's a line between inexperience and intentional ignorance.
Everybody plays the game in a different way. Everybody gets something different out of the experience. The problem is you don't seem to be able to deal with the other people that play the game differently and enjoy different things than you. You get mad when people aren't paying attention. You get mad when people don't understand their character. You get mad when people don't know what's going on.
I don't get mad when people don't know their character.
Bullshit.
I get mad when we've played 20 sessions and they still don't know their character because it's called effort. And there is a certain level of it that I would say or expect of someone.
You were literally proving my point here. So
it's different.
No,
it's different.
So you seem to not be able to deal with the people that play the game differently than you, and that's the main challenge. You're just trying to force everybody to play the game the way that you enjoy it, and not allowing people to play the game that they want. That's my problem.
I'm more frustrated when people disrespect the time and effort that either the DM and all those other people sitting around the table are putting into this moment, and they are not. Look, if you want to go do something else, go do something else. I don't give a shit what you do, but when you commit to something, you do it. You don't half-ass it, and you don't just say, "Oh, what? Oh, character? Oh, yeah, okay." Those are problem players. I don't want those people.
Exactly. You have a problem with people not playing the game the way that you want them to play it.
There's not even the way I want to play it. There's a certain expectation as a society. When you all come together to do an activity, if you have someone that's not participating in the activity, then you're frustrated with that person because everyone in that room is dedicating their time and effort into this activity that you all agreed on beforehand, and this person is not going to do what they are going.
I have a feeling that I would hate playing Monopoly with you.
Look, if we're playing a game, we're playing a game. I have better things to do. I've had this experience with other groups where no one wants to do anything. Everyone just wants to talk. And it's like, and I'm sitting there and I say, look, if we're going to talk, I'll do that. But don't promise one thing and do another. Because that's frustrating.
So what you're saying is your expectations are being let down.
Not expectations.
Yeah, your expectations
the game,
of people actually participating.
I want people that say they want to play the game to play the game. I don't want people to...
I get that, but you're literally just proving my point the more you go on. I get the frustration. I fully understand when you're wanting to indulge in something so much. You know, you don't want to go to a fancy restaurant and promise to the triple chocolate, 6-layer cake, and they bring you out vanilla. You're like, well, I'm kind of disappointed at this. I get that.
No, there's a difference. I feel like I'm not communicating or you're not comprehending my intention. You just made the actual thing that says you go to a restaurant, you ask for this, and you get that. But that's not all I want. It's like going to a restaurant and pulling out an Xbox and playing on an Xbox. And then just be like,
fine. If you want to make it a more of an extreme example, that's fine.
Oh my God.
I get what you're saying. And on some level, I agree with you. But I also have the understanding that there are not many people in this world that are going to put as much effort into that as you are. I'm not going to put as much effort into being a DM as you are. I'm not going to put as much effort into being a player as you are.
I want people to be present in the moment and give the minimum amount of effort.
Yeah, but your minimum and everyone else's minimum are going to be different across the board. It doesn't really matter. And honestly, I get what you're saying, but everything you're saying as a player is meaningless because the only person that matters, and I'm hot take, the only person that matters when playing D&D is the DM. Is the DM having fun? Then you're not going to play D&D if they're not. If the DM is happy with everybody at the table and how things are going, I don't care about your feelings. If the DM is okay with somebody sitting on their phone and only piping in when they want to, that's what that person can do from now on.
There are games like that. If the DM is fine with that, that's fine with their DMing. Take all this stuff out. All the people around you, they have the busy lives. They have schedules that they had to plan around to all come together to do this activity. Mm-hmm. Respect them. It's more of a respect thing. If I'm somewhere, I don't sit there and play on my phone and ignore the people around me that all dedicated their time to being together. There is a social contract that you signed when you committed to that activity and you said, hey, look, I'm going to be here. We're all going to be here, right? Okay, we're all going to be here. We're all going to play this, right? Okay, yes. So that means that you commit to the thing that you're going to do. But when you don't and you go off and do other things, then don't come to the thing. It's that easy. It's like, okay, well, I'm not going to participate really at all. I'm going to do my own thing, play games, do all this other stuff, and maybe I'll chime in when I think it's funny. And it's like, cool, if you want to socialize, and again, I'm being extreme, because some people have more a laid back and not such a professional reason for when it comes down to playing a game with your friends. But I am someone that respects everyone's time because I don't have a ton of it. And we're all going to die soon enough. And I'd rather do something full-fledged rather than sit back and have everyone kind of gallivanting around with their lackadaisical attitudes towards this activity that I very much enjoy. So yes, maybe I'm a little eccentric when it comes to something like this. Yes.
And I get what you mean, but
it's hypocritical of me to not be perfect how I say I want to be perfect. Yes. In some ways of other parts of my life. But when I'm here, I'm here. And I agree. Outside of this, if I don't do a perfect amount of, I always am on top of all the work, I'm always this and that, because I do understand when people are outside of the game, when they play the game and then they go out and they say, oh, I'll try to get this done in the meantime. And they say, oh, sorry, I just wasn't able to get around to it. I say, that's totally understandable. Everyone has a life. Life comes first. This game is a game. But when you sit down together and your body and mind should be present in the moment with the friends that you all have around you and that you all agreed to be there for each other, then you have to be present. It doesn't matter what you were doing over here or over there.
Just because your DM is putting me to sleep doesn't mean I'm not putting in any effort. You know, that's the other thing to consider. Again, people play differently. People enjoy different things. What you just need to focus on is finding people that share the same level of passion for what is going on as you do. And don't get mad at the people around you when they just have a different level of enjoyment of D&D. Some people are casual players. Some people are hardcore players. Some people are casual DMs. Some people are hardcore DMs. It really doesn't matter. And you just need to understand that and be okay with, hey, I'm at least playing D&D, and am I having fun? I can have fun with even if so-and-so's not paying attention.
Yes.
And
I am something just is slowly changing in my head right now. It's not everyone's fault. It's my own. I love this game so much, and I love the concept of it, the genre of tabletop role-playing games, whatever the factor is. I love that stuff. I'm realizing now, as we've been talking, and I think this is good. Like in your game, I have had expectations of my own, and I can't change people. But if everyone doesn't have the same idea as you, sometimes you need to be the one to say, is that enough then? I'm not having a good time because no one else is really putting any effort into this, and this is a waste of time.
I mean, it really depends on how you look at it.
Exactly. No, that's what I'm saying.
If you're not having fun, then yeah, no D&D is better than,
wasting
your time. But also, like, why wouldn't you just look for opportunities to help people grow within that sphere, though?
But if you communicate your concerns and no one wants to do anything about it, or they say they will, but they don't, and you're sitting there not having a good time, sometimes you got to take a step back and you got to look at it and say, is this really what I want? I can't control everyone. I can't control everything. You got to find the right group for you. And I think even if you are trying to be the best player, if you're in a group of people that don't really want to give a crap and a DM that's not really trying, and you communicate your concerns and they don't do anything, then yeah.
See, but that's where I think you need more leadership training. I mean, our goal as leaders is to not necessarily just, participate in, the world around us. Our goal as leaders is to help everybody else grow within the environment that you're currently in. So just to say, yeah, I'm not having fun, so I'm going to walk away. Like, okay, great. Do you think Matt Mercer, the person who probably knows more about D&D than the creators of D&D at this point, isn't happy to sit down at a table with people who are definitely under his level when it comes to playing the game? Just look at the characters that he plays. They're not over the top. They're not crazy. They're balanced within the party itself because he knows that if he does things that are outside, that other people aren't going to have fun. You know, you have to set your expectations of the world and the people around you. Whereas if the way that I would say to think about it is you're on a road, okay? You might be 60 miles down that road, but the person who's just starting out has only taken a few steps. So how would you get them further down the road at a quicker pace than, you know, they're going at the rate that you went? Because you went the slow, sluggish way. You found every pothole, and you can help people pass that a lot. And that's your goal as a leader. Now, will everybody take your advice? Absolutely not. Not even close. Not even half. But the people who do will cherish that forever and know that, hey, I am having more enjoyment than I would if I would have just, you know, went my own way.
I agree. You can't change everyone exactly how you want. You have to let them go at their own pace. You give them advice, and you hope that they take it to heart. Some won't. You have to realize you can't make everyone do what you know is right based on your experience and all the time you've put into this. Doesn't matter. People are stubborn sometimes.
Yeah, or people have different agendas and how they want to play the game. To be honest, changing your mindset from more of a I'm a player versus I'm a mentor would drastically change the way that you enjoy the game and or experience the game.
Yeah. I think I need to do that. This has been eye-opening, I think. And I'm begrudgingly accepting because I know it's right logically, but my emotions are like, no!
But I mean, this is why I think these conversations are good for people to see, because it helps. And that's not saying that I am perfect when it comes to D&D. I'm not going to act like you and say I'm the best. I know
I don't say that. I would know because I'm the best at remembering.
And again, that's not to say that I'm not saying that I don't have a lot to work on. I acknowledge the vast amount of things that I need to learn and grow and be able to do, but I'm trying to put it at my own pace and not try to burn myself out, because I think that is the biggest struggle that I face as a DM is I go hard for a short period of time, get burnt out, and then just stop. I would rather have steady D&D constantly rather than the full bore.
I will tell you that when it comes to D&D and to my explanations of most things and how I prefer it, it would be short, compact burst of information that I could give you that would be simple to understand. And that's all I'm trying to say.
I totally get that, and you're always willing to help with anything I need. But as all mentors know, sometimes people just need to make the mistakes themselves in order to learn from them.
So wait, you're saying you won't even let me give you advice?
When I want advice, I will ask for it. When it's other things, I just need to be able to make my own mistakes. I don't necessarily care about how somebody wants to play their character. My goal is to make sure that everybody at the table has the potential for fun. And if I have to disappoint one person in order to make sure everyone else has fun, I am more than happy to do that. You have to understand that our personal lives are vastly different when it comes to our jobs, our careers. My job is so mentally taxing that being able to explore things in my own realm is my hobby. That's the part of the game that I get happy about.
Right. You're taking this as a light hobby, not a serious hobby.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just how you need to do it.
That's why
for your own life. But I thought that was really insightful.
Okay.
I'm glad. And that you're doing everything wrong and I'm right now, and I don't know why you can't understand that.
Anyway, that just happens to be how we feel about it. What do you think? What self-development have you seen in your own personal journey? Let us know down below.
And if you enjoyed this conversation, hit like and subscribe. It helps the table grow and keeps the party going. There's also a link down below where you can vote on what you prefer. Cast your vote, and we'll see you in the next one. But that's what that's what we think. What do you think? That's what I know. Tell us more about how I'm right and he's wrong in the comments. Hashtag Quill is wrong.
Make sure to # Cash is always wrong. Anyway, that just happens to be how we feel about
Sorry,
it.
hold on. I didn't realize. I was looking down. Okay,
Oh,
I'm ready.
yeah.
I'm ready.